The story begins with a curious little girl named Coco who believes that nobody can truly know what they are meant to become the moment they are born. But one question keeps bothering her. Does that same rule apply to witches too? One day, Coco heads into the forest and spends a short moment enjoying the peaceful beauty of nature around her. After that, she goes to a nearby spring to wash her laundry. As she pours soap into the water and begins cleaning some white blankets, a deer quietly watches her from a distance. Coco does not seem too worried about the soap spreading through the clear spring water. When Coco notices the deer staring at her, she gently apologizes for making a mess. She tells the animal that she is almost done washing and the spring will become clean again soon because this water is protected by magic. She picks up the freshly washed blankets and steps out of the spring. Right after that, she sees the water shine with a bright, magical glow before returning to its normal state. There is no soap left behind at all. Seeing that the spring is clean again, the deer calmly drinks from it without any trouble. Coco smiles softly and says that no matter how many times she sees it, it always looks beautiful. To her, magic is truly incredible. This world is full of magic. It is a useful and precious miracle that helps people in many ways, but no one really understands how it works. Only witches have the power to cast spells, while normal people can only receive magic's blessings. Since not everyone is able to become a witch, Coco thinks it must be wonderful to be born as one. After hanging the blankets outside, Coco sits on the roof and quietly wishes that she could use magic too. After thinking about it for a while, she suddenly grabs the blankets and tries to cast a spell on them, ordering them to turn into a flying cloak. At first, nothing happens, just as expected. But then a strong gust of wind suddenly blows one of the sheets away from her. Coco panics and quickly runs after it, saying that this is definitely not what she meant when she said she wanted it to fly. Luckily, she manages to catch the runaway blanket, but at that exact moment, she looks up and sees something amazing in the sky, a Pegasus carriage. Coco is stunned as she watches the carriage descend and land right in front of her house. She becomes so excited that she almost forgets to hang the blanket back up before leaving. After quickly fixing it, she rushes downstairs with excitement because she has never seen a Pegasus's carriage land so close before. Coco immediately looks for her mother so she can tell her what happened. But when she opens the door in a hurry, she accidentally hits someone standing outside. She looks up and sees a tall man wearing a cloak. He is a complete stranger, so Coco quickly apologizes and explains that she had no idea he was standing there. The man gives her a kind smile and tells her not to worry. He says it was his own fault for standing so close to the door. Just then, Coco's attention moves toward a group of women who are excitedly looking through different fabrics. They are surprised to find such fine materials in a place like this. The women begin checking the different types of cloth. One of them says that the wood sorrel embroidery looks a little old-fashioned, but another woman points out that she has found Harian lace, the same kind that sold out very quickly in the castle town. Coco becomes even more excited when she realizes that these are the people who arrived in the Pegasus carriage. She immediately looks at the cloaked man, assuming he came with them, but he quickly explains that he is not part of their group. Meanwhile, one of the women asks the seamstress if she has more lace like the one they found. Coco's mother begins searching right away and says she should definitely have more of it somewhere. Then Coco's mother notices her daughter just standing there and tells her not to simply watch, but to come help. The cloaked man, still waiting nearby, says that he is looking for some smoke-colored fabric. However, he politely adds that he can return later if she is too busy. Coco quickly offers to cut the fabric for him herself. Her mother agrees, saying that Coco knows how to handle that job properly. Before getting to work, Coco excitedly asks her mother if she can go look at the Pegasus carriage after she finishes. Her mother warns her that she must not touch the customer's belongings. Coco promises that she only wants to look at it and will not mess with anything, but her mother still does not seem convinced. So Coco adds that she will stop saying she wants to become a witch. Hearing this, her mother finally gives in and tells her that she may go see the Pegasus carriage only if she finishes her work early. Coco happily cheers and returns to the cloaked man, asking him what measurements he needs. After he tells her, she takes the fabric and begins measuring it carefully. Her hands move with confidence as she marks the cutting lines neatly neatly and accurately. Coco then cuts the fabric smoothly and skillfully. The man quietly watches her work from close by, noticing how precise and clean her movements are, though Coco does not realize he is observing her so carefully. But once she finally notices that he has been staring at her work the whole time, she suddenly becomes very nervous. The man takes the fabric in his hands and is clearly impressed by what Coco has done. He tells her that she has amazing focus and very steady hands. His cutting line has no shaking, no mistake, and no hesitation at all. It is neat, smooth, and finished with incredible care. He admits that he never expected to find someone this skilled in a small village like this, and to him, this kind of craftsmanship feels like real magic. Coco is shocked to hear such praise, but she quickly rejects the idea. She tells him that what she did is nothing like magic. In her eyes, magic is something far more mysterious, bright, precious, and beautiful. Realizing that she has started talking too passionately, Coco quickly hides her face in embarrassment. The man notices right away that she truly loves magic. Curious, he asks her why she is so drawn to it. Coco then begins telling him about something that happened when she was younger. When she was a little child, she once visited a festival at the castle. There, she met a masked witch who asked her if she wanted to buy a magical picture book. Coco already loved picture books, but at that time, she did not really understand what magic was. When she asked about it, the witch explained that magic is a miracle that fills the world with color and wonder. The witch then showed her magic with his own hands. He spoke about Pegasus carriages flying across the wide open sky, a never-ending spring that keeps its water perfectly clear. For the first time, Coco noticed the magic hidden all around her, and she was completely amazed. That was the moment she fell in love with magic. The witch once again offered her the magical picture book and told her that it also came with a free wand. Coco ended up buying it, using the money her mother had given her to buy roasted strawberries. When her mother saw the book, she became confused. So Coco explained that she had followed a butterfly and found someone wearing a pointed hat. That person sold her a magical picture book with a wand. It may not have seemed important back then, but that day became the reason Coco decided she wanted to become a witch, someone who could make the world feel brighter and more alive. But when her mother heard her dream, she told Coco that it was impossible. She explained that a person cannot become a witch unless they are born with magical power. Ordinary people simply do not have the ability needed to use magic. Coco tried to prove her point by saying that the ground had sparkled every time she stepped on it. Her mother gently took her hand and told her that if the ground kept shining all the way home, then maybe Coco really could use magic. But that night, while walking home, Coco cried when she realized the glowing path had disappeared. Remembering that moment now, tears come to her eyes again. She says that ever since then, she has grown used to watching magic from a distance. But even after all this time, she still cannot completely give up on her dream of becoming a witch. The man listens closely to every word of her story. But before he can ask her to explain more, a loud crash from outside suddenly interrupts them. Coco rushes out first to see what happened, and her mother follows behind her. Outside, they find that the Pegasus carriage has been knocked over by two children. Coco quickly runs toward the kids to check if they are hurt. One of them immediately claims that they did not do anything and says the carriage just fell apart by itself. But his friend exposes the truth right away, saying that he had crawled underneath the carriage, hit his head, and caused it to tip over. The three women hurry out of the shop after hearing the noise. When they see the damaged carriage, they become extremely upset because it belongs to their father. Coco's mother apologizes for the children and says she is deeply sorry for the serious trouble they have caused. One of the women angrily tells her that an apology will not fix the problem because now they have no way to return home without the carriage. As everyone wonders what they should do, the man from earlier steps closer and begins checking the damage. After inspecting it, he asks if they would like him to repair it. From what he can see, the carriage is not too badly damaged. The women look at him suspiciously and ask who he even is. The man politely apologizes and says it would probably make more sense if he were wearing his proper hat. Everyone becomes surprised when he pulls out a pointed hat and introduces himself as Kefrey, a witch. The moment they realize he is truly a witch, the women immediately begin to trust him. Kefrey then explains that he only needs to reapply the spell to the carriage's floorboard. He adds that fixing it outside may be a little difficult. Hearing this, Coco quickly offers offers him their workshop and tells him he can use it there. Coco's mother scolds her for offering the workshop without asking permission first, but Coco keeps insisting because Kefrey is a real witch. Instead, he shuts himself inside the workshop and asks Coco to stay outside as a guard, making sure nobody tries to peek in while he performs the spell. Coco feels disappointed because she still cannot see anything, and she realizes that things are never that simple. She starts wondering why normal people are not allowed to watch how magic is done. While thinking about this, Coco suddenly notices the same two children from earlier climbing onto the roof, clearly trying to spy inside the workshop. She quickly climbs up after them before they can do anything, but instead of stopping them, Coco also tries to peek inside. Unfortunately, when they open the window, they find that the curtains have been closed from the inside. There is no way to see what Qifrey is doing. The children quickly lose interest and leave. Coco is about to give up too, but then one of the blankets she hung earlier suddenly falls over her. That gives her an idea. She remembers that there is actually a way to enter the workshop from the roof. Coco quietly sneaks inside and carefully picks up her magic picture book before trying to look at what Qifrey is doing. After hesitating for a while, she finally gathers the courage to peek. That is when she sees Qifrey using a pen to draw strange symbols on the carriage's floorboard. Coco is shocked. She realizes that magic is not being cast with a wand at all. It is being drawn with a pen. This also makes her remember the item that came with her magic picture book. What she thought was a wand might not have been a wand after all. It was probably a pen too. In that moment, Coco understands the truth. Witches do not simply cast spells, they draw them. Once Qifrey finishes the spell, Coco quickly escapes through the roof before anyone notices her. Somehow, she manages to reach the front door again just in time, as if she had been standing there all along. With the Pegasus carriage repaired, the women are able to leave without any more trouble. Qifrey also prepares to go shortly after. Later, Coco's mother tells her that she feels a little relieved. Since Coco loves magic so much, she was worried that Coco might say she wanted to leave with the witch. Her mother then explains that she already lost Coco's father to illness, and if Coco left her too, she would feel terribly lonely. Hearing this, Coco immediately hugs her mother and promises that she will not leave her alone. Her mother thanks her gently and says that she really is a kind girl. That night, after dinner, Coco quickly goes to her room and takes out the object she always believed was a wand. She removes the cap and confirms the truth. It is definitely a pen. Then she looks through the magic picture book and notices patterns drawn all over its pages. The so-called wand was never just a free gift that came with the book. The pen itself was the real magic tool all along. Coco then realizes that the crystal attached to the end of the pen is actually filled with ink. She removes it and dips the pen tip into the ink. Before trying anything, she quietly apologizes to her mother in her heart. She reminds herself that she is not going anywhere, but she just has to test it once. After a long moment of hesitation, Coco begins copying the patterns from the magic picture book. For the first time in her life, she tries to recreate a real spell. She carefully follows every line with steady hands, copying each part as accurately as she can. But when she finishes the first symbol, nothing happens. Coco stares at it in confusion, clearly disappointed. She complains softly and once again tells herself that life could never be that easy, especially when magic is involved. Feeling defeated, she rests her head on the desk. As she sits there in sadness, a tiny drop of ink falls from the tip of the pen. That single drop lands in the perfect spot and connects the lines of the circle, completing the spell by accident. Suddenly, the symbol begins to glow brightly. Sparkles burst through her room like tiny fireworks, filling the space with magical light. Coco is stunned at first, but then she jumps with joy. She realizes that she has actually used magic, but her joy soon turns into fear. She remembers that she was never supposed to see how magic works, and she has no idea whether Qifrey will be angry if he finds out. Still, even with that worry in her mind, Coco cannot resist. She decides to try one more spell from the magic picture book. Meanwhile, Qifrey is camping in the nearby forest. Even as he rests there, he cannot stop thinking about Coco's story, especially the magic picture book she mentioned. Something about it feels strange to him, and for some reason, it continues to bother him. After thinking about it for some time, Qifrey suddenly understands what may be going on. At the same time, Coco manages to draw another spell successfully, but this one turns out to be a fire spell, and she panics as flames appear. She quickly puts the fire out before it can spread. Coco feels relieved that nothing worse happened, because that could have become a serious disaster. Still, even after that small scare, she continues practicing. As she draws more spells, she slowly begins to understand how they work. She learns that larger spells are more powerful than smaller ones, and spells drawn neatly last longer than ones drawn carelessly. However, making a spell both big and clean is much harder than it looks. Kefrey had made it seem so simple when he repaired the carriage floorboard. After thinking for a moment, Coco gets an idea. She places a sheet of paper over the magic picture book and starts tracing the lines from the page. Just as she expected, tracing makes it much easier to draw the spell neatly, even though the pattern looks complicated. Because of this, Coco manages to create an almost perfect copy of a difficult spell from the book. But she has no idea that something dangerous is waiting in the shadows behind her. The moment she finishes the final line, Kefrey suddenly appears, grabs her from behind, and rushes out of the house as fast as he can. Right after that, the spell Coco drew begins, glowing with an intense light, releasing a massive burst of magic. Kefrey carries Coco away from the danger and flies high into the sky. He immediately asks her what kind of spell she drew. Coco is terrified and tells him that she does not know. She only copied the design from the magic picture book without understanding what it meant. Before Kefrey can question her any further, both of them see Coco's mother standing outside the house, desperately searching for her daughter. Coco tries to shout and warn her mother to run, but she is too far away to hear. The magic soon reaches her. Her body becomes trapped and slowly covered by strange crystal-like material. As Coco watches her home and her mother turn into crystal, she completely breaks down. She screams for her mother in panic, unable to believe what she has done. Kefrey stares at the scene in shock and realizes that this is forbidden magic. But before he can process it, Coco suddenly hits him and demands that he let her go. She wants to run back to her mother. Kefrey refuses to release her and tries to explain that if she goes down now, the magic will catch her too. But Coco is too overwhelmed to listen. She keeps struggling, kicking, and trying to escape from his grip so she can save her mother. After fighting hard enough, Coco somehow slips free from him, but before she can fall, Kefrey catches her again. As soon as they land, Coco breaks away and runs toward her house. The crystals keep spreading without stopping. Just before Coco gets caught in them as well, Kefrey grabs her once more and flies back into the sky. Coco cries uncontrollably and keeps apologizing, saying that she did not know what would happen. And with that, episode 1 comes to an end. Like and subscribe to stay tuned for the next episode.